Terry,
stylistically.
wonderful singer. He did a great job on our last record.
Hmm?
I don't know. We're kind of a little bit going different directions. Nothing drastic. I mean, we didn't get any huge fights or anything. It just when Mitch came along, I just felt like it was a better fit in every way: voice, image, everything, personality. You know. Um, but Terry's
Yeah.
monster singer, man. He's
No, he's
killer.
great. Just no disrespect. I mean, did he just get an email from you guys, or did you guys like sit down with him? Was it like a surprise? I mean, I've heard that. I don't like to believe everything I hear.
Uh, what now?
How was he? Was he told that he said? I heard it was like via email. That doesn't sound
No.
like if you're with him for so many
Well,
years. I mean,
right. Um, well, it was kind of done that way. But I saw him at NAM show, and he was all good with it. The whole thing for me was his band was just kind of waiting around for him. It was like they weren't doing anything, and I felt like
right.
he glued into that band like perfect. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Their style. I mean, they were like European too and stuff. And I don't know. It just seemed like his voice fit with the inside out stuff. That it just glued to
Yep.
that music. Um, you know, our fans kind of looked confused a little bit when they'd watch our shows, but then he'd sing really good and they'd go, "Oh, okay, this guy's cool." But I just don't really have a lot to say that's bad about Terry. He's a very nice guy, very nice.
Yeah. No, I wasn't trying to stir anything up. It's just I had heard that, and it seems like a weird
Yeah.
thing if you've been with somebody for like so many years in a row to be
Well,
like, you
what
guys are both
happened
great
was
acts and talents, so it's not about that.
it got it got released on the internet before we could tell them, and then so it wasn't uh, um, our publicist's fault. She released this information, and then so we hadn't told him yet, and she didn't
Oh,
know that. So he heard the information. And he's going,
that's
"Oh, this
hard,
is a
man.
this is a hell of a way to tell."
That
His
is
wife
hard.
got involved, and like we were just the bad guys all the way around. So what do we do now? Go, hell, we'll meet us somewhere, and we'll talk about it. It's like we already know. So
Oh,
so that was a tough situation. We're not bad
The great white
people.
experience, for example, you have to grow from that and you have to learn from that and say, how can I become a better person? Uh, and that's very important. Instead of dwelling in the negative and just say, why me, why me, why me? Um, well, I our first reaction is to dwell in the negative. What did I do wrong? When did I? It's very normal. But then I think as a man or woman, you have to grow and say, what can I do to better myself and move forward? Because
Mm-hmm.
life is about moving forward and you know achieving different things. That's
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Well, and I think you've carried it, but like obviously you're very you've grown to be in very control of your thought as who you are, and that's always important as we get older. I wish I knew stuff now that I knew when I was younger, just some of the wisdom. Um, but even growth, you were in a good spot. Even I think even when the great white thing happened, because you really didn't say much. You didn't. It wasn't really. You kind of walked away looking good. Actually, everybody, you know what I mean? Like a gentleman is how you know.
Well, I don't like
But
to to
it could have gotten worse, and it didn't need to. And I think it's been appreciated. I appreciate lack of that kind of
yeah.
stuff.
Well, thank you. I don't think the fans need to hear
No.
the to see the dirty laundry. Why did somebody that you know? I the Great White experience was a wonderful experience when it lasted. I
Mhm.
had a tremendous time performing with the guys. Um, I really appreciate Sean. Sorry, I really appreciate
You can
Audie.
appreciate me.
I really appreciate Adi and Scotty very, very much. I appreciate the Great White team very much. It was a great experience. The fans were wonderful. It was very challenging because, um, you have to understand Jack Russell is a great singer. He
Yeah.
has accomplished a lot of great things, and replacing a great one is never easy. People people don't accept you right away. It's like a new marriage, for example, your husband or your wife, whatever, they move on and they're connecting with somebody else.
Right.
Or the kids or the friends gonna say, well, he's not as good as the other one, whatever,
Right.
So at first it was very, very challenging. I had a lot of things I had to deal with. But in the end, the fans loved it. I loved it. Every show was sold out. I think we did 530 shows, and I do believe 80% of them were completely sold out or oversold out. The band was here, and then when I left, the band was there. And
Yeah, I think you sound great. I mean, you don't compete with a certain voice. You can't. Your voice is good. They're just different. Like it's like so ridiculous to try being like if somebody wanted you to come in and be like Jack.
well,
That's not why get you. That's not who you are.
it's again, I appreciate. It was a great opportunity. I really appreciate it. With a great write. I chatted with the guys not so long ago. I emailed Bridget not so long ago regarding a project that I was asked to be a part of for a film. I just wrote a few songs, 4 songs for a movie coming up this year. And so, yeah, absolutely, I have a great relationship with the band. I'm glad they have Brett as a singer. I think Brett is a wonderful guy. He's a buddy of mine, first of all, and he does a great job. I'm glad Jack Russell is doing great. I'm glad everybody's happy. You know what, Sean? In the end, I'm happy for everyone, and I move on and I do my thing, and I'm like, well, I hope I'm going to be happy too, and that's all. That's what it is.
Well, I'm glad you guys are that way. I think even at one point, Mark, I don't usually get into it, but like Mark actually was on my show, and I said to him, I said, this, I don't usually get into these kind of things. I said, but I'll be honest with you, the way this went down, I go, it's press, there's all different things, but you're stars, what happened? Because it doesn't seem very cool. Like you guys would do that, and he admitted it wasn't very cool, and it was an accident in the way they had a communication, but he did admit that it came off wrong. So to me, I felt like no, I'm saying, but it felt like it was wrong, but it felt like at least it was a step forward that for him to admit it, like you know what I mean. But like, yeah, this probably wasn't the best way
Well,
for healing.
Mark's a good guy.
Yeah.
Mark's a good guy. Mark has something very special. Mark is Mark Kendall, and I've always said that he's got a sound with in his fingers. He sounds like Mark Kendall, and that's what it is, and that's what it's all about. That's what I like his sound.